Hello everybody, welcome to part 5 where we'll go over adding a title screen and the ability to load saves to our Fangame. There is a ton of customization we could add to our title screen, so I'll just go over adding the essentials and a few extra things for flair and polish that can be found in a number of Fangames. Thank you everyone again for the support. We're gonna go for 15 likes by Friday this time, and then I'll make sure to release part 6 on party members next Sunday by 7 PM EST. I've also opened up a Discord server for you guys to share your progress, talk, and ask for help easier. And don't forget that I have the code for the episodes going forward linked in the description if you need it. Also, my little brother will be doing his own series on his channel all about creating the art for your game. Go check him out and subscribe to him in the description. Anyhow, let's get started. First, we want to create a new room named rm_title, so let's do that here. Room rm_title. Okay, and then we want to set it as the homeroom here. Move it to the top like that. Okay, there we go. So now it's the homeroom, and we can go create an object for our title screen and let's call it obj_title. Okay, and so now let's go create a sprite for this our logo here. So to do that, you can either go to the spiders resource where we got our other sprites, just search up Deltarune. The second result should be Deltarune logo font, which will let you copy the letters and you can paste them in the in an image editor. Like you can use the image editor here, or you can use a external one, or you can just look up Deltarune logo font, go to the second result, which will bring you to this website, and you can use these, although I don't really like how they use the X, and you can see I like this one better, I like this K better, but you can use this one if you like. You also have to manually put in the color in the hearts and stuff, but that's also an option. To download it, just click right here and it'll download it. If you're going for an Undertale style font, sadly there's no equivalent of this on Spider's resource, but you can just look up Undertale title font, and font meme here will have the font for you. If you do want the heart, you do need to copy it from Undertale's logo. You just have to open up the image of Undertale's logo, copy the R, paste it, or in whatever letter you want the heart. Yeah, so that's all we need for our fonts. So I'm personally gonna do it this way by downloading the font here, and let's create a sprite here. Create sprite spr_title. Okay, so now let's import this one. Alright, so let's edit image. So let's do this on the next frame source. We just have a clear space. I'm gonna do mine in the Deltarune style. Of course, you can do it the Undertale style as well. So let's just copy, go over here. Oh, it might actually be a good idea if you go here and the original logo so you can compare the spacing of the original logo to yours. So to import it, let's just create a new sprite, call it spr_title_Deltarune, because it's the original Deltarune. Right, so let's import that. Go title and logo, yes, edit image. We're gonna crop it down to just you up here. Okay. Image, pop all frames to selection. Alright, so let's see. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pixels in between each letter, so let's try and reflect that in our image here. If your image, ends up not being large enough to fit your title, you can just click resize all frames like this. You want to say resize canvas, and then just from the direction you want to change it from. So let's change it from this one here to expand it this way. We're gonna say width. Let's make this like 300 just so we can guarantee we have enough space. There we go. Okay, I see. I made the space in between these letters too large because okay. Okay, and once you have your title done, you can press the image button and crop all things to selection. There we go, and then we can get rid of this. We don't need it anymore. There you go. And you can always do something different than the Undertale / Deltarune fonts for your title if you so wish. Alright, so now let's go back here. And we can get rid of this. We don't need you anymore. Unless you need that for whatever reason, but we don't here. Alright, now we have our title, and I'll probably change this myself later. This is just like an example. Alright, so now we can go to our object title, drag in the sprite, and there we go. Okay, so now let's add on our title object here, and there we go. We have our title. You can turn off snapping if you want to get a better, feel for it. Okay, so now we want to actually do some coding in our title object. So let's add a game start event. And so a game start event is going to run at the very start of the game. So we want to put like anything we want to have at the very beginning of the game before anything else happens here. So first let's define our, variables. Alright, so we're going to create a variable called global dot start underscore room, and we're gonna say it equals rm underscore paps or whatever other room you have. I don't know if I've touched on this yet, but global variables like this are just variables that can be accessed by other objects and not just within the one object we define the variable in. Okay, so next we want to say global dot start underscore x equals I'm doing 160 for my room, but you can find the coordinates that work good for your room, and these are just the default variables for like the room, your starting x and starting y. It will change once you save and stuff. So now we need to say global dot new underscore game equals false. Okay, and global dot title underscore buttons equals 0. Okay, so the new game variable is just gonna check if like this is like a new game or if you've already played the game before and you want to continue the game. So now we need to actually set up the save stuff so that works. So I'm gonna say if file underscore exists, which will check if a file exists, and we want desa appearance dot ini, and again it's just whatever your ini file, which you can find by going to Windows R app data local and then finding the name of your game here, obviously disappearance, and yeah, and here's your save, right? Okay, so now let's add our little brackets, make some space, indent, we want to say ini open, and then we can just copy, not the period, the name here, dot ini, I did this wrong, it should be ini underscore open, there we go. Alright, and then global dot start room equals ini underscore read underscore real parentheses quotation marks. I think that is the wrong read. There we go. And then save one, comma, room, in quotation marks, comma, and then rm underscore paps or whatever you want the default room to be. Okay, so now we want global dot start start underscore x equals ini underscore read underscore real, and then our parentheses, quotation marks, save 1, comma, x, comma, then we'll say 160. Alright, and then that's just, you probably want to have it be the same as this. Okay, so that now, let's go here, start y, save 1, and we want y, and remember save 1 is our, what's it called? What we named this section, because it's, you know, our first save. If we have multiple saves, we might have a save 2, save 3, but we'll go over that later. Right, so I'll set this to 140 for myself, because that's works well with the room here. Alright, and so then we want to do one final thing of ini underscore close. This is important because it won't work if you don't close it. Okay, so now we need to add the buttons to the menu so that we can actually select stuff. And to keep things simple, I'm going to make the buttons just an image, since not everyone will want them to be really fancy like in some fan games. I will show, however, an optional but easy way to have them animate on the screen at the end to make it just a little nicer, in my opinion. Alright, so now let's create a new object and call it obj underscore buttons. Okay, and now we need to make a sprite for it. So create sprite spr underscore buttons. Okay, and now let's you know, edit image, but before we can create it, I mean, you could write out each thing like this, like continue or whatever, right? But that would take forever, so instead we're going to use our text tool. But we don't have the Undertale font yet, or at least probably a lot of you won't. So first we actually want to resize the image to make sure we have enough room. Let's just set it like 300 by 300, just to make sure we have plenty of space to type what we need. Alright, so to download the Undertale font, we want to go here, and yes, you want to look up either Determination Sans font and Greater Determination font. So for Determination Sans, you want to go to onlinefonts.com right here and download this one, and for this one, the Greater Determination, you want Fontstarts. And the difference between the two is that Greater Determination has support for a bunch of accents and stuff, which is useful when we go over adding like different languages. If you don't want your game to be in English and you need like special characters like this, like it has Cyrillic, it has Greek, it has accents for like French and whatnot. So if you're gonna plan on doing that, I would recommend Greater Determination Sans, but if you don't care for that and you just need the Latin alphabet with no special diacritics, just the regular one, you can download here. So just make sure for both of them you download the TTF font type. It might ask you if you want like TTF or OTF. You definitely want TTF. So let's download TTF, and we can just save this to our desktop. Alright, there we go. So now we can, you know, close out of that. We can minimize our windows here. Let's extract all. Extract. Alright, we can delete that zip folder. We don't need it anymore. Just double click on here. Install. And there we go. So now we can delete these guys. We don't need them anymore. Go away. There we go. Okay, so now back in Gamemaker, we can have our text tool selected. Okay, to add our buttons, we want our font size to be 18, our font greater determination and anti-aliasing off. Begin game. Oops, I want to actually have a space here. Settings. I want to have extras. You don't have to have this one. And credits. And you don't have to have that one either, but I like to do it this way. So yep, let's commit the tool changes. Alright, so let me delete those actually because this doesn't have anything. Okay, so let's select out here with the magic wand tool, press Ctrl-Shift-I, and then image and crop all frames to selection. There we go. So now we have our text here. Let's get our fill bucket and we can start, you know, filling in like whatever one we want selected, like this, right? You probably would want to do like yellow, but if you would rather like use a different color, you can do that as well. I'm gonna go with blue text for now, just because I don't know, I just want to do it for fun. Later on, I'll probably have different color text for the game, but for now, I'll go with blue. So to get the other frames, you just want to press Ctrl D or duplicate it by right-clicking, clicking duplicate frames. Oh wait, you actually, never mind, you want to, my bad. You want to duplicate it while it's still, wait, okay, there you go. Then you can go in and do that. Okay, and now we have each of our frames how we want. Okay, so now we need to make sure we add it to our object buttons. I had to re-record this part, so I already did it, but you know, just drag it over as usual, and then just to see how it looks, you can add the buttons. So if you press F5 to see how that looks, it looks like I messed something up here. I added another thing. Don't forget to add the viewport here. Okay, so now if we go back to here, we can copy our viewport dimensions. Okay, there we go. So now hopefully that should work. There we go. And now we have our thing and we have our buttons here, except you press the buttons on your keyboard and it doesn't actually move it or anything. So let's go add that. So in our buttons objects, let's go here. We want a step event. All right. Now let's say start save. So this would be like, you know, the very first time you play. We want to say ini_open. And then we want our desappearance.ini. Let me get desappearance.ini. Okay, and we don't want that actually. Forget that. If I'm gonna say our image_index equals 0, and our keyboard_check pressed ord z. So it's only gonna work for the z for now, but later on we'll add enter support in I think the next episode actually. room_go_to, and then global.startRoom. Okay, and then I'm gonna say var instantiated equals instance_create_layer, and then we want our parentheses. Okay, global dot start x comma global dot start y comma, as we want it on the player level layer, and then we want it to be our player object that we are creating on the start room player layer. Okay. So yeah, and then we need to say global dot nuking equals false. All right, and so then that will be the end of that, and we can say ini_close. So now on our key press up, our key pressed up, we want to say if our image index does not equal 0, we want to image_index plus equals -1, And otherwise, I'm going to say image underscore index equals 3. And so what we're doing here is we're just if you like try to go up past this part, we're gonna go to credits. That's what the 3 is. But if you're not like at up here and you press up, it's just gonna, you know, take you back one space there. Okay. And so now we're going to do a key pressed down, and we're going to copy and paste this code here and just flip the numbers around. So we want to change this from 0 to 3 and from 3 to 0, and we're going to make this a +1. There we go. So now that's all done. If we press F5, we can go up and down, and we can select our different options. Well, we don't have to add functionality yet. Oh, I see what I did wrong. I forgot to add on the title layer a player layer, so let's do that. There we go. So now that should work. We can go up and down, right? Then press Z, and now we're in our game. Except we already had a player in here, so let us fix that. We're gonna go to room test. Where is that? Yeah, we're gonna delete the player here, and we're gonna delete the player in the waterfall room. Although I don't know why it took us there. Okay, so to fix the issue of adding a room just completely messes up what like the saved room is, what you want to do is in your game start event in object title, you're gonna add this little thing here called room IDs, and then you can create your IDs for your different rooms. You don't have to start with 0. I did just because I wanted to. And then you can create as many of these right now as you want. Just make sure to actually update the number you have for the variable, because I forgot to, and I spent like 20 minutes trying to fix it, and I was so confused because it kept setting 2 to 5 by mistake. So make sure to do that. Okay. Then you want to have this change from real to string. Okay, and then you want to go to your object save here, and then you want to say room to save equals global dot and then whatever room you want. I just said 1, and also make sure to set change this from room to save, and then it's a good idea to put what each room is down in the comments here so that you can just copy it, and whenever you need to you know, add a save, right? You know, drag your save in, double click it, creation code. You can just paste in it here, and then you can see what room like ID it is, and then just paste it in there. And you can do that for you know, all your rooms. Just make sure to do that, and then you can click play. Make sure before you actually play to delete the INI file so that it doesn't give you an error, because it will try to read the old way we were doing it. And so now you can go here, close it, run, play, and then I'm here, and then go over here, save, begin game, and I'm here. And if I go and I add a new room, yeah, we press play, begin, it still works. We can even delete it, and there you go, it still works. Anyway, so now we need to duplicate object buttons here, and call object buttons continue. Alright, let's open these up. Alright, and so now yeah, we just need to change the sprite and some of the code here so that we can have a reset button and change it from begin game over here to continue. So let's duplicate this here. We'll call it continue. Alright, so we'll go here, add an image, and so we can get our text tool and say continue. Okay, now we're gonna actually color pick this. Okay, then delete you, and then move you up here. Okay, so we can delete the other frames. Okay, so now let's go here. We're going to resize the canvas, and we're just gonna make it like, I don't know, like 130. You know, I typed the wrong number, but it's okay because we can crop it. Delete all these guys. We're going to type, oops, wrong color. We're going white. Continue. Reset. Settings. Extras. And credits. Okay. And then we can move this new one to up here. There you go. So now we want to magic wand tool, Control Shift I, and then image crop all frames. So selection, like that. Okay, duplicate, and then we want to do an extra time because we now have the reset button. Alright, so now we have our buttons here. Looking good, looking good. So now we want on our object buttons continue to drag the new sprite on. What we want to do is we want to go to our object title. And what we want to say is, okay, let's set the coordinates here to top left for both of these, just to make it easier when we're adding it in. We don't have to find two different values. You'll see what I mean in a second. So let's go back to our title screen. Let's find a good, there you go, like that. And now we know the coordinates are 10, 67. Okay, so we can actually delete it now. We don't need it. What we want to do is go to our title object and say instance underscore create at depth, and then we'll say for the x we want 10 and then 67, and then we can just say like 100. It doesn't really matter. Object buttons continue, and yeah, okay, so then we can go down here. Let's copy this. Actually, I want to say else, and then put a little thing here, and then we're going to change this from continue to just the regular buttons, and there we go. So now if we have a save file, it should say continue. There we go, except it's not gonna go to credits, which is an easy fix. Let me just yeah, so now we want to go to our continue here, and we want to change the up to the 3 here to 4. Okay, and then over here we're going to change the 3 here to 4 because we've now added a 5th button, because it counts this as the 0th frame, and we want, so that's 0, right? Okay, and so now we need to add a new if statement here. If image underscore index equals 1, and keyboard underscore check board z file underscore delete, and then just appearance dot ini, and that will be our reset functionality. Oh, I forgot one thing. We just need to say game underscore restart. Okay, now if I go in and press begin game, right, it works. Okay, and then if I click reset, it resets it, and now we're back to these options. Great, now the bare bones of our title screen is complete. If you're satisfied with this, you can stop watching, but I'll show you an easy way to make it a little cleaner. The first thing we can do is add a background to our title screen. Okay. And you can import whatever image you want, but I'm going to be using this GIF here, a background here, by dragging in the sprite. Only seems to be too big still, so let me fix that. Alright, and so now I have this nice background for my title screen, and I have the text. Okay, this will just be a temporary background I'm using for the sake of demonstration. I'll have a different one, as you can kind of see it's not like too readable, the text. You can change the color to make it more readable, but yeah, for now I'll just have this. So next, what we can do to customize it is you can have the buttons and logos slide in. So it's pretty easy. All you have to do is on your title object, what I like to do is, so we add a step event. Then just say slide on screen if y is less than 80, y plus equals 1. Space, okay. Yeah, and so what we need to do is, actually let's see what the y is it here. It's 32, so here we want to change this from 80 to 32, and then we can just simply move it up. Okay, and now if I hit play, it will slide down into place. And you can change the speed at which it does that. Let me put it there, maybe that'll look a little better. Okay, and it might look a little weird if you just have it with the title, which is why we're going to do the same thing with the buttons. Also make sure to copy and paste in this code here, just so it doesn't look kind of shaky. Okay, so we can just copy this here. We can go to our buttons and we can say at the top here, let's go up. I'm going to change this from Y to X, and I'm going to say 10 because that's the X I'm using. Yeah, and then we can just copy that code here and put it in our continue buttons here. Change the X of it to like, I don't know, like negative 50 or something, right? So let's see how negative 50 works. So let's change that from Y to X here and here. And it also seems that we need to make it a little further to the left still. Yeah, so let's change that from 50 to 60. And it might be nice if they did it at the same time, so let's move you up a bit. And there, yeah, I think that looks pretty nice. So you can, in game, save, and you start it again, and that works too. Wonderful. Now we got a little animation to make it feel a little cleaner. And at some point in the future, I'd like to make another tutorial revisiting the title screen and make it even better, albeit a bit more complex. That won't be for a while though, as you can see based on my current plan for the series. The code for this episode is in the description, and don't forget to join the new Discord to show off your stuff to me and the rest of the community, and to also ask for help if you need it or just to chat with others. Part 6 will be on party members, so be sure to get us to 15 likes by Friday to make sure I hold myself accountable to releasing the next video next Sunday by 7 p.m. EST. And with that, have a wonderful day.